Every day I talk to somebody about the coaching opportunity, whether it's a coach within my team or somebody inside the organization or somebody who has shown interest and wants more information about the coaching opportunity. I run little groups where I give a 5-day introduction into coaching, where I explain the benefits, I explain what types of things are involved, and I never sugarcoat it. And I have had great response because they're like, oh, okay, then I know what I'm getting myself into. The same thing with the health and fitness journey. Somebody said that they found me on YouTube and I was like the only person out there who said it's going to be hard, but it's going to be worth it. You can do it. And she's like, okay, you're not trying to tell me it's going to be easy. I believe within my heart 100% that anybody and everybody can do this. If I can do it, having low self-esteem, lots of things that I was battling mentally, and no background in health or fitness, and even still to this day I don't love working out. If I can do this, anybody can. You just have to follow the steps and you have to trust it. I've watched coaches come and go in our organization over the last 3 years of being a coach. I've observed things and I have taken note of it, and I see what happens. I can see it coming when somebody's going to quit. I can see it happening, the doubt and the behaviors of these coaches. I'm going to tell you why coaches quit. Coaches quit because of they don't think they can succeed. They don't think they can succeed because they have this idea in their head of what it takes to be successful. And I can say this 100% because I was that way. I grew up with a bad childhood, with negative parents, battled depression. I was never around anybody successful. I didn't hang out with anybody. I wasn't allowed to. I was only around my parents. They weren't successful. They're not successful people at anything. Parenting, friendships, business, finances, anything. And they're negative about it. So number one, you're going to want to remove yourself from those type of people. And if you join the push, then great job. Step in the right direction. So I had no idea what success looked like. So when you grow up and or with any situation, if you don't have any of the details, you just come up with your own conclusions. And when you feel like a failure, when you feel like you're a loser and you can't do anything, you stay away from successful people because you're afraid that successful people are going to call you out. I remember thinking that people were just born that way, that people are predestined to do this, and that I had had such a bad life that meant that I was going to be unsuccessful. And I just was like, oh, okay. It wasn't until I started reading personal development that I realized, wow, all these people like Craig Holiday set everything off. And I was like, oh my God, he's filed bankruptcy. He has, had all these careers. His whole family basically told him that he was a loser and he wouldn't succeed. A teacher told him this, and he did it. Then when I went to Danny Johnson, I mean, she had a colored past, a horrible childhood, was abused, was homeless, all these things. I'm like, and here she is, And so it's so easy for people like me to look at somebody successful, who's confident, who's beautiful, who has made money, who's helped people, and been like, oh, they've never had it bad. And that is the problem that people have. They assume that. So they stay away from successful people. The thing is, if you want to be something, you go be close to it. You go watch it. You study it. I study successful people. I do the actions that successful people are doing, and that's led me to that. So another thing is that you have to set your goals, big goals. So if you want to get to 5-star, you know that the plan of action is you need to get to Emerald, then to Ruby, then Diamond, learn how to be a leader, grow your business, so on and so forth. Most people just chase that big dream. Just like people say, I need to lose 100 pounds. I'm 350 pounds. I want to get down to 250. I'd be happy then. And then they start on their journey and they just go through every day, and a month passed and they've done 21-day fix and lost 20 pounds. And then the next month passed and they lose 10 pounds. And all they can think is, I have 70 pounds to lose. They don't enjoy the journey, and they haven't set realistic guidelines. And then they just think, I can't be successful, because in their mind, successful people have it easy. Successful people just drop weight like that. They just have people flock to them, and then naturally they wake up 5-star. They don't know what goes on behind closed doors. They don't know the growing pains. They don't know the things that people have to overcome. So I want you to make sure that you have a realistic idea of what success takes. Success is not meaning lack of failure. Success does not mean that you have to be know every detail about coaching and have a huge network of people that you already know. It doesn't mean that you have to have 6-pack abs. these things are in your head and they're distracting you from putting in the time and the energy and the hard work it takes to be successful. So I want to make sure that you set goals and that you have a realistic time frame, because people just give up. I've seen people run a challenge, or say I have a challenge group and 2 people come and they ask 100 people, say, I've never seen anybody do that, but for instance, and then all they can focus is on, I only have 2 people. 80 people told me no. I must suck. This other coach out there, has 5 people in their challenge group. And then they don't realize that that coach may have asked 1,000 people. And they don't know that that coach may be, spending 8 hours a day inviting. So my thing is, make sure that you have a realistic idea of what it takes to be successful, and that it's not up to fate or luck or anything like that. And make sure that you're not being distracted by what other people are doing or throwing in the towel and not enjoying the journey and missing the successes that you have. If you help 1 person over the next 6 weeks in the push, I say that's a success. It's better than 0, right? That means you had what it takes to help somebody. You gained interest. And so then you go back and look at the other 99 people you invited and look at how you invited them. Try to tweak your marketing, tweak your approach, tweak your way of getting to know them, and pay more attention to them. If you fail, this is just a way for you to have a path to look back on and say, I did this, it didn't work. Trust me, you can succeed. You just have to believe it and know that it does not happen by magic, and you do deserve it.